Be still for a moment and breathe. This is not an ordinary day. October 17th arrives carrying a quiet thunder, the sound of a door unlocking somewhere beyond sight. You have felt it, an invisible stirring, a warmth that brushes your spirit as if heaven itself just exhaled in your direction. You have walked through long corridors of waiting. You have prayed when no one was listening, planted when the soil looked dry, believed when logic whispered stop. But every unseen act of faith has been stored, layer upon layer inside a chamber built by endurance. Today, that chamber begins to open. It is not a vault made of gold or stone. It is the vast treasury of grace, symbolized by the number that sounds impossible. 86 500,000, the measureless account of favor that cannot be spent out or stolen. This figure does not live in the banks of earth. It lives in the mathematics of mercy, where every tear becomes currency and every act of trust earns compound peace. A light spreads across your inner sky. It carries memories of promises you buried because time seemed too long. Yet time has been the keymaker, shaping you into the one who could hold the weight of answered prayers. Delay was never denial. It was design. Look around you now. Signs of release are everywhere. Conversations shifting. Doors once sealed beginning to vibrate with motion. Dreams that slept are stretching their arms. The rhythm you hear beneath the noise of the world is the sound of abundance returning home. Do not rush. Simply receive. You are standing at the threshold of the vault. Each breath you take in faith turns the wheel another degree. You are not begging for access. You were always written on the authorization scroll. Today, October 17th, is marked as the hour of remembrance. The unseen accounting of heaven balances in your favor. Everything endured in silence now gains interest in joy. Declare this with your whole heart. The vault of divine favor is opening for me now. Type 444. As a sign of agreement, speak amen aloud, and let gratitude be your signature upon this moment. When the vault cracks open, it does not explode with noise. It sighs like a dawn wind, releasing a river that remembers every seed you planted. This river does not rush to drown you. It moves with wisdom, touching each part of your life in the order it was meant to bloom. At first, it washes over your mind. Worry begins to loosen. The old loops of fear untie themselves. Ideas you once dismissed as too late begin to pulse again with color. Then it flows through your voice, teaching you to speak life instead of waiting for permission to hope. Every word you choose becomes a bridge. Each act of kindness multiplies like interest in the unseen account. You start noticing small confirmations, an unexpected call, a coincidence that feels too accurate to be random, a message that finds you at the exact hour you were about to give up. These are withdrawals from the vault, reminders that the ledger of favor is active. Do not measure the river by what you can see right now. Even when it disappears beneath the surface, it is carving new channels under the ground. Your patience is the bed it flows through. Your gratitude keeps it clear. When doubt tries to build a dam, whisper peace until the waters pass through again. Look deeper. The river carries the forgotten fragments of you. Dreams you abandoned because others could not see them. Words you swallowed because they felt too sacred to waste. Even those driftwood pieces are being polished smooth. They will return as tools, testimonies, and treasures. Today's date, October 17th, shines as a marker on the calendar of the unseen. It tells your spirit the waiting season is closing. What you thought was silence was strategy. What looked like emptiness was rearrangement. Every unanswered question has become a stepping stone for revelation. You may feel a holy restlessness rising. Do not mistake it for anxiety. It is the current pulling you toward the next shore. Release the need to know how. Trust that the vault never opens halfway. You were not given half a promise, and heaven does not issue partial releases. Listen, can you hear the quiet splash of possibility? The water is touching the roots of relationships, opportunities, and health. Everything that once thirsted for meaning begins to drink again. Even your laughter will sound different. It will echo with relief, not resistance. Pause now and breathe again. Say quietly, I receive the flow of abundance meant for me. Type 4404. If your heart agrees, let your gratitude travel ahead of you. It prepares the ground for what comes next. When you finish this breath, whisper one more thing. I am ready for overflow. My beloved one, when the river finishes its work, it does not vanish. it transforms. The water that once carried your prayers now begins to settle into the soil of your destiny. And from that soil, the harvest begins. This is the moment when heaven whispers to the earth, "Now give it back." Every tear that fell in secret becomes a seed. Every lonely night turns into nourishment for something divine taking root. You thought you were losing time, but in truth, you were being planted in divine timing. Faith, my child, is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. And now that bridge begins to glow beneath your feet. You will no longer walk with uncertainty, but with assurance, because what was once promise is becoming presence. The field of your life is changing color. Things that were barren begin to green again. Projects long delayed begin to breathe. The divine wind moves softly across your path. And those who once ignored you will now have to acknowledge what God has grown in you. Do you remember the days you prayed? "Lord, if I could just see one sign that you haven't forgotten me." This harvest is that sign. This restoration is that answer. Heaven never forgot your name. It was carved into the very scroll of divine remembrance. Do not be surprised when old doors open again, but this time they lead to higher ground. Do not be shocked when you are invited into rooms you once felt unworthy to enter. This is the reward of silent obedience. This is the elevation born from endurance. The same hands that held you in the valley are now crowning you in the open. The same God who seemed silent was only watching the soil mature around your roots. Every no was fertilizer for your next yes. Every closed season was cultivating the strength you now carry. You are stepping into a season of holy recognition. The light that once flickered around you will now blaze like a beacon. Those meant to bless you will find you. Those who walked away will witness what God preserved in their absence. And those who doubted your purpose will stand in awe as heaven vindicates you. Look again at your life. The shift has already started. You are not chasing breakthrough. Breakthrough has begun chasing you. Divine acceleration is rewriting your story line by line. Things that once took years will now happen in days. This is what happens when faith finally reaches full maturity. Lift your hands, if only in your spirit, and whisper, "Thank you for trusting me with the wait." Because the waiting was never punishment. It was preparation. You were never forgotten. You were being formed. And now, the forming is finished, and the unveiling begins. Type 555. If you feel that confirmation stirring in your soul, type, "I'm ready for my divine harvest." Because heaven has declared, the field is ripe. This is your moment to step out of drought and into destiny. And even now, angels are arranging what you thought you lost. Beloved, there comes a sacred hour when heaven decides it's time for you to be seen. For years, you served quietly, gave generously, forgave silently, and waited faithfully. You worked in unseen corners while others celebrated in the spotlight. But what they didn't know, what even you didn't realize, was that every hidden act was being recorded in heaven's archive of reward. Nothing you did in love was wasted. Every seed sown in tears became a line written in your heavenly story. And now the author has turned the page. You are entering what I call the season of holy visibility. Not fame for vanity, but favor for divine purpose. The same ones who once dismissed you will now look again and wonder, how did they rise so high so fast? They will not understand that you were lifted, not promoted. Because no human hand could open this door. It was marked for you from the beginning. This is the hour when destiny unveils itself like dawn after a long night. The light touches your name, and what was once overlooked becomes unforgettable. Even those who forgot to honor you will be moved to make things right. Because when God crowns you, it cannot be undone by human opinion. You may not see it yet, but people of influence are beginning to notice you. Someone in a high place has seen your work, your heart, or your consistency, and something about you will not leave their spirit. They will be drawn to you, not because of manipulation or strategy, but because of divine magnetism, the pull of destiny. Your name will be whispered in rooms where your feet have not yet stepped. Your faith will be mentioned in meetings you were not invited to attend, and your character will speak louder than your credentials. This is what happens when heaven decides it's your turn. You are about to experience divine introductions. The people connected to your next chapter will begin showing up, not randomly, but prophetically. A message, a call, a sudden connection. It will all make sense later. For now, walk with quiet confidence, knowing that everything you lost was only clearing the path for who you were meant to become. There is also a financial recognition tied to this elevation. Unexpected opportunities will appear. Contracts, commissions, collaborations, partnerships, things that seemed too delayed will now align like puzzle pieces. Do not chase them. Allow them to come. They have been ordained to locate you at this exact time, and through it all, stay humble. Because the crown that heaven places upon your head is not for decoration, it is for divine demonstration. God will use your story to show others what faith looks like when it refuses to quit. So lift your head, chosen one. The season of smallness is ending. The oil of favor is dripping from your name. Heaven's light is searching for the faithful, and it found you. This is not a coincidence. This is a calling being fulfilled. Type 777 in the comments if you feel this word confirming something deep inside you. Declare aloud, my season of divine recognition has arrived. Because after all your hidden service, the heavens are finally saying, now it's their time. Beloved soul, you have come to the turning point, the moment heaven has been preparing you for months, maybe even years. The vault remained sealed. You prayed, you waited, you wondered why nothing seemed to move. But what you didn't see was that the combination was being aligned in the spirit. Each act of obedience turned one dial. Each time you forgave when you wanted to fight, another dial clicked into place. Each tear, each surrender, each moment you chose faith over fear, it all became part of the divine code. And now, heaven whispers, the vault is opening, not a vault of gold or currency alone, but a vault of answered prayers, restored peace, divine ideas, and supernatural resources. This is the release of the harvest you labored for in silence. The treasure inside was too sacred to be released before your character was ready to carry it. Do you hear it? That faint hum in your spirit? That's the vibration of divine release. Things that once resisted you will now respond. People who ignored your potential will suddenly recognize your value. The gates that once rejected you are now programmed to open automatically. The vault of heaven contains more than money. It holds opportunities, reconciliations, revelations, and the fulfillment of promises that felt impossible. It carries the abundance that aligns with your divine assignment. It is time for you to operate not from lack, but from overflow, to move not from fear, but from authority. This is the 80, 60, 500, 1,000 vault, a prophetic symbol of limitless abundance. It represents a shift so massive that no human explanation can define it. It is heaven saying, I am not just restoring what you lost. I am multiplying what you never had. You are stepping into the economy of the kingdom, where favor replaces force and divine timing replaces human striving. Doors will open not because you knocked, but because heaven whispered your name to the right people. Ideas will flow like rivers, and solutions will appear before problems do. This is not luck. This is divine orchestration. You will see unexpected deposits of joy, sudden credits of peace, and emotional wealth that cannot be stolen. Even financial blessings will come from places you never considered: refunds, reversals, approvals, and divine partnerships. Not because you chased them, but because you aligned with the source. But remember, the purpose of abundance is not accumulation, it's assignment. You are being trusted to carry wealth that uplifts others, to fund healing, to empower purpose, to multiply goodness in the earth. Every resource that comes to you carries a mission within it, so stand tall. Your spiritual vault is now active. Angels have been dispatched to deliver what is rightfully yours. This is not a random blessing. It is a scheduled release. Type $444 in the comments as a sign of divine agreement. Declare, the vault of my destiny is open, and I will walk in overflow. You are not waiting for permission. Heaven already said yes. The key was your faith, and now that faith has turned the final lock, the door stands open, and what comes next will leave you speechless. Beloved, when heaven opens a vault, it never does so halfway. It releases not just blessings, but balance. Not just abundance, but alignment. Because true overflow is not about what fills your hands. It's about what fulfills your soul. You are now entering a season where peace will replace pressure, where doors will open with ease, and what used to drain you will now deliver you. You will wake up one morning and realize the struggle that once defined you has lost its power. You will no longer chase stability. Stability will seek you. You will no longer beg for clarity. Clarity will flow to you like sunlight through an open window. Even the things you thought were gone forever will return, but in upgraded form, stronger, purer, more aligned with who you've become. You are stepping into a life of divine ease, not laziness, but grace-guided motion. Your energy will attract what your effort used to chase. People will sense the light around you and not understand why they feel safe in your presence. That is the fragrance of favor, the residue of a divine encounter. Heaven is now repositioning you from survivor to steward. You are no longer meant to merely get by. You are meant to guide others into the same abundance you've received. What you carry is contagious. Peace, vision, wisdom, and discernment. When you speak, the atmosphere will shift. When you move, things will align. When you pray, outcomes will change. Beloved, it's not just about money. It's about meaning. The true wealth of your next chapter is peace, clarity, health, and divine connection. You will love again without fear. You will trust again without hesitation. You will rise again without apology. Even now, heaven is crowning you not just with favor, but with rest. Your spirit has been in warfare for so long that peace may feel foreign at first. But breathe. You have permission to enjoy what's coming. You have permission to feel safe again. The vault has opened, but it's not just pouring out wealth. It's pouring out wholeness. Now let us seal this moment in prayer. Divine overflow prayer, heavenly source of all abundance, thank you for this moment of release. Thank you for every hidden lesson in delay, for every tear that became a seed of transformation. We open our hearts to receive not just blessings, but balance, peace, and purpose. Bless every listener under the sound of this message. Restore their faith, multiply their resources, and remind them that they are loved beyond measure. Where there was lack, let there now be overflow. Where there was fear, let there now be faith. Where there was waiting, let there now be fulfillment. Let their hands never grow weary of doing good, and may everything connected to them prosper with divine integrity. Surround them with light, protect them from all harm, and guide their next steps with the wisdom of heaven. We seal this word with gratitude, and we receive the vault's release, not by might, not by power, but by divine grace. And so it is. Amen. Type Amen if you feel this prayer in your spirit. Type, My vault is open if you're ready to walk in divine overflow. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer waiting for the miracle. You are walking in it. Beloved soul, you have reached the end of this divine transmission, but not the end of your transformation. Because when heaven speaks, the words do not fade. They keep working quietly in your atmosphere. Even after this video ends, the vibration of faith will echo in your spirit. Something unseen has already begun moving in your favor. The vault has opened. The field has bloomed. The waiting has ended. And you, chosen one, are standing at the dawn of your fulfillment. Take a deep breath. Let peace settle into your chest. You don't need to force what's already ordained. From this point on, everything you do will align with ease. People will come. Opportunities will appear. Doors will unlock, all without you having to chase them, because grace has gone ahead of you to prepare the path. Repeat these words aloud or whisper them softly in your heart. I am walking in divine timing. My vault of abundance is open. Everything meant for me is finding me now. I am surrounded by divine favor and peace. My next chapter is overflowing with grace. Let those words soak into your being. Affirm them each morning and watch how your atmosphere begins to shift. You will feel lighter. You will notice synchronicities, repeating numbers, messages, sudden alignments. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are in flow with heaven's rhythm. If this message has spoken to your spirit, type 444 in the comments, the number of divine completion and open portals. It is your way of saying, I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. And if you felt that surge in your heart, that quiet knowing that this word was meant for you, type, My time has come, because it truly has. Remember, your story is not over. This is the chapter where everything begins to make sense. The delays, the detours, the disappointments, they were all divine directions guiding you to the vault moment you are now living in. Stay expectant, stay grateful, and stay aligned, because what's about to unfold will confirm everything you've believed in silence. Before we close, take this final breath with me. Inhale peace. Exhale worry. You are safe. You are seen. You are supported. You are loved. This message was meant to find you right now. not a second too soon or too late. And as you leave this space, carry the knowing that angels are walking beside you. Your breakthrough has already begun. The vault is open, and heaven is smiling upon you. If you felt this word, type Amen below. A comment, "My vault is open," to affirm your faith in this divine season. Subscribe and join this growing circle of light so you never miss your next divine confirmation. Share this message with someone who's waiting for their own sign. You might be the messenger they prayed for. And until the next word finds you, walk in grace, speak in faith, and remember, you are chosen, you are favored, and your vault will never close again.